All right, folks, I'm Tom Downey. That is Mitchell Renz. Let's dive into some live Q&A here. Use hashtag NFL in the comments section. I know we didn't hit every single team in the rumors, but keep your comments flowing. We'll get to as many as we can here for you guys as we go through some more NFL free agency talk, because that's all anyone cares about. Von Torres with an interesting idea, Mitch. Everson Griffen to the Jets via a trade. What do you think?
I think it's
you don't hate it.
It's an interesting idea, right? I mean, Barr doesn't go there. They obviously have money. They obviously have a certain need. Everson Griffen, to me, I think would actually be a pretty good fit with the Jets.
Right. It's a little pricey, but then again, we saw what Preston Smith and Zadarius Smith went for, so maybe not that bad in the end. All right, Sarah says if the Colts are going to make any more moves, I wouldn't be surprised, but we do know Chris Ballard's MO. He's going to build through the draft, not in free agency in most cases.
I think it's actually worked out pretty well, though, for the Colts recently. And what up, Sarah?
They've been in on some players. I think corner is the big area to watch them. I know they want to bring back Pierre Desir. We'll see if they actually end up signing him.
Sounds good.
Billy Hill Show says Green Bay needs a deep threat wide receiver. Who should they have targeted? If you want a deep threat, I kind of like the idea of John Brown. But, of course, he's off the board now.
Tyrell Williams is still out there, 6'4", 205 wide receiver who can still stretch the field, who I think he's going to get paid maybe a little bit more because he's the one wide receiver that has a little bit more size than some of these other smaller guys. So if you want a speedy receiver who's still out there, I'd say Tyrell Williams.
I think that's an interesting idea there. I'm very curious to see what ends up happening there on that front. So Matt S. says, worst acquisition so far other than Bobby Hart. What you thinking there, Mitch?
Besides Bobby Hart, Harris has got me all freaking flustered now.
You going to go with Mosley?
No, I'll probably go Quan Alexander.
You're going Quan with that big deal?
That's pretty over. I love Quan Alexander. He's a good player, but I'm not paying somebody who's coming off a torn ACL for $1 million.
I refuse to say any answer other than Bobby Hart. So I'm sorry, because you can't pay a terrible offensive lineman $7 million over 3 years.
What do you guys think? What's the worst signing so far? Let us know in the comments section.
All right, Thomas Scott, is there anything to players not wanting to sign with my New York Jets? There's always a team that gets used for leverage.
Sure.
And I kind of think the Jets, unfortunately, have settled into that team. Because they got the cap space to burn.
Who wants to be on the Jets?
I mean,
I used to work for the Jets. I have a lot of respect for the Jets.
They did sign Jamison Crowder. They signed C.J. Mosley.
How many games are the Jets going to win? 6
or 7. Put that as the over-under there.
That's great.
I mean, I think that maybe word got through to other players about Adam Gase, who didn't get along at times with some of the key Dolphins players.
Fair.
Maybe that's a factor. I'm not really sure there.
I also think it's the fact that they're the New York Jets, and until I see something productive out of them, I don't want to go there.
Food Review asks, over/under Dallas winning 9 games 2019. Again, I am required by law to say the over for the Dallas Cowboys as the host of the Cowboys Report.
I'll take 9.
Ooh, by the way, I forgot the worst signing was Devin Funchess at 1 year, $10 million.
Oh,
that was the other worst.
That's really bad as well.
Just throwing that one out.
Touche.
All right, Divine, trade options for the 49ers. I think you're looking at maybe a defensive back, but I know what you want to hear. You want to hear Odell Beckham Jr. That's what you want to hear. So Odell Beckham's a trade option.
Sure, and I'll go free agency. We'll go signing. I think the option's over there. If you don't want to go get Odell Beckham, maybe another option is Golden Tate, but I personally think he's going to go to the New England Patriots. Also Earl Thomas.
All right, Dennis Jones. Mitchell, this one's for you. Who would you like to see the Raiders pick up on defense, Justin Houston or Ronald Darby?
If I had to pick between those two players, I guess I'll go Justin Houston because I think it's a bigger need. However, I think Justin Houston's going to require a lot more money than Ronald Darby.
Is he though? I'm actually not so sure on that.
Okay.
You got a worse corner class. I think that drives up Darby's value potentially.
True, because he is my #1 rated corner if I look at my rankings. But again, I don't know. I think of team need. I think of everything. I think Justin Houston will be more than Darby. By at least a few million. But also, I do run the Raiders Show. Make sure you guys check it out. Subscribe, youtube.com/Raiders Report. #1 Raiders channel on YouTube. And then Tom runs the #1 Cowboys show on YouTube. youtube.com/Dallas Cowboys
Report. There you go. King Keith says, what do you think of the Redskins offseason so far? Mitch, what do you think there?
They're spending big. But again, it's another team that, sure, you can go out and get Landon Collins. But your quarterback's Case Keenum, and at the end of the day, I still think that you're the worst team in your division. I'm not overly excited about it. The only thing I am excited about that the Redskins are doing didn't have anything to do with free agency. I want to see what Darius Geis looks like.
Okay, that's fair. I think getting him back is going to be a nice boost there.
Yeah.
But it depends. Really depends on what do you think about Landon Collins.
I like Landon Collins.
Then you should like the Redskins free agency so far. Now, today's show is brought to you guys by BetDSI, the internet's #1 sportsbook. Head over to chatsports.com/bet. Use promo code LIVE120 for a 120% deposit bonus. Mitch, you put down $50, and they're going to give you 64 free to bet with just in time for March Madness.
If you guys think that you're smarter than me at March Madness, you might be. If you think you're smarter than Tom, I doubt it. Challenge us both on BetDSI. Chatsports.com/bet. Use promo code LIVE120. Tom, you put down $100. How much money you get?
120. No more math. I can't do anymore.
500 to get $600 for free. Shout out to BetDSI.
All right, next up from Zachary Mole. What do you see the Patriots doing this offseason? Accumulating compensatory draft picks as they always do.
Winning, because that's all they do.
Look, in general, the good teams don't throw around a lot of money in free agency because they have to re-sign their own good players. That's going to be maybe a receiver. Maybe they find some more defensive line help. They did trade for Michael Bennett. Maybe Golden Tate, like you mentioned.
Golden Tate would be an interesting fit. Tate is reportedly wanted to go there, and I think he wants to win another Super Bowl. And if you guys want to win some money, go to chatsports.com/bet, and you might as well bet on the Patriots winning the Super Bowl and then making the Super Bowl because it's happened just about every freaking year. I do it every year, and yeah, I make money off it.
Howard Davis with asking the best under-the-radar signing. By the way, at the end of free agency, we'll have a big recap show for you guys.
Winners, losers, all that good stuff.
We kind of mentioned him already. I really like the Matt Paradis signing for the Carolina Panthers because they had nothing at center. This frees up a full draft pick for them, and frankly, it kind of came in a bit less than I thought he was going to get, less than Mitch Morse by a pretty significant margin.
And I'm trying to think of some moves. I think the Latavius Murray is pretty interesting, but I mean, 4 years, $14 million for Murray, I thought was decent considering I think how much Mark Ingram would have got.
I actually like that one as a good fit there. All right, for the Knights who say neat, he says neat. Do you know that reference, Mitch?
You know I've never seen Star Wars.
Oh my God, and he thinks it's Star Wars.
I have no idea what it is. Is it something else?
Monty Python and the Holy Grail. We'll make you watch that. I have that video on DVD, actually.
I had friends growing up.
Connor Cannell, who should the Vikings take with their first pick? I think you got to look on the offensive line right now. I think that has to be your focus point. I'll throw out a dark horse idea. Why don't you draft Garrett Bradbury out of NC State, play him at center, just kick Pat Elflein down to guard? We know he can play that spot.
When do the Vikings even have their pick? 20?
18 overall.
18? Mm-hmm. That's like nowhere to land for me, though. I don't know. Maybe they get rid of Kyle Rudolph, go get a tight end.
That's an option as well. All right, Flashy Pass. I like that name, by the way. Like the Lions pickups, do you think they have any chance to compete at the playoffs? I actually do like what Detroit did as well, as they very much, again, try to end with the Patriots, which never works out, by the way. Stop trying to be New England. That stuff does not work. They signed Danny Amendola. They signed James to more than I kind of would have liked, almost $30 million over 5 years. A little high. Justin Coleman's a great nickel. They signed Trey Flowers, so it was a big need there. They retained Romeo Okwara. They're in much better shape, and they're doing what most teams that are smart should do. Sign some free agents at areas of key need so you limit the gaping holes on your roster.
So here's the question.
Okay.
Are they going to make the playoffs after saying all that?
No, they will not.
And why is the answer? Because they have
Really
Matthew Stafford as a quarterback.
Stop slandering.
He's not any good.
Okay.
He's not any good, and as long as he's the quarterback of the Lions will not make the playoffs.
They have, though, with Stafford at the helm.
Recently?
It wasn't that long ago.
3 years ago? No.
All right. Anyway, Sean Garner, what teams will sign Bortles and Tannehill once they are released? Well, Denver would like Blake Bortles because he's big, tall, and white. Ryan Tannehill, I think, is an intriguing idea there as well. The Jets. Watch out for the Jets because Adam Gase loves him.
Tannehill's going to the Bengals.
Is he going to back up Dalton? Okay, I guess I can see that one happening.
By
the way, speaking of the Dolphins, watch out for Tyrod Taylor in Miami.
What about Tyrod?
Also, yes.
Okay.
As a stopgap option there. Again, folks, today's show brought to you by BetDSI. Sign up, chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code LIVE120 for a 120% deposit bonus. We're going to put this on loop, but Mitchell and I will be in the comments, so keep those questions flowing here as we get further along into NFL free agency.